Joel Scott Osteen, born March 5, 1963 in Houston, Texas, USA, is one of the world's most famous pastors, authors, and motivational speakers. With his bright smile and optimistic preaching style, he leads Lakewood Church, one of the largest churches in the U.S., and has inspired millions through his television shows, best-selling books, and online sermons. However, behind his positive image and success lies a story of deep sadness, challenges in his career and personal life, as well as a journey of constant striving to achieve lofty goals. Joel Osteen's life is a complex picture, combining the glory and tragic moments shaped by family, faith, and love. The greatest sadness of Joel Osteen's life was the loss of his father, John Osteen, founder of Lakewood Church, who died in 1999 of a heart attack. John was not only Joel's father, but also his mentor, spiritual guide, and greatest inspiration. He grew up in a family of 6 children, with parents John and Dodie Osteen, who devoted their lives to evangelism. Joel has said that his father taught him about faith, perseverance, and how to love people unconditionally. When John passed away, Joel, then 35, was working behind the scenes at Lakewood Church, producing his father's television shows. His father's sudden passing not only left a hole in his heart, but also placed on his shoulders the burden of taking over the church, a responsibility he was never mentally prepared to take on. He described the moment he received the news of his father's death, when he sat quietly in the church office and cried, feeling as if his world had collapsed. This sadness became even more profound as he faced the pressure to continue his father's legacy, while doubting his own abilities as a pastor. This sadness was not limited to personal loss. Joel also faced feelings of loneliness and self-doubt as he stepped into the leadership role at Lakewood Church. With no formal theological training, he felt unqualified to stand in the pulpit, especially compared to his father, a seasoned pastor. There were nights when he lay awake, worrying about whether he could lead thousands of worshipers, and he cried out of fear that he would disappoint his father and the community. Joel also experienced sadness related to public criticism. As a popular pastor, he was often criticized for his optimistic preaching style, which some called the prosperity gospel, focusing too much on personal success rather than traditional teachings. This criticism, especially from theologians and the media, left him feeling misunderstood at times. He once shared that after reading a negative article about himself, he cried in his office, feeling like his efforts were not being recognized. Another aspect of grief is the guilt he feels for not spending enough time with his family, especially his 2 children, Jonathan and Alexandra, during his early years leading the church. His busy schedule, from preaching to writing books and filming television shows, caused him to miss important moments in their lives. He once told of a time when Alexandra, as a child, asked him why he couldn't be home more like other fathers, and the question made him cry, realizing that he had sacrificed too much family time to pursue his mission. These sorrows, from the loss of his father to the pressures of work and personal regrets, shaped a Joel Osteen who is both strong and vulnerable, always struggling to balance faith, career, and family. Joel Osteen's career is a story of unexpected transformation and extraordinary success, but also of challenges and failures. Before becoming a pastor, Joel had no intention of standing in the pulpit. He graduated from Oral Roberts University in 1981, but dropped out before completing his degree to return to Houston and work for his father at Lakewood Church. For 17 years, he was in charge of the church's television production, from video editing to media management, a job he loved and felt was a good fit. However, everything changed in 1999, when his father passed away. Just a week before John died, Joel preached his first sermon at the church at his father's urging, an experience that left him shaken with fear. After his father's death, Joel reluctantly took over as lead pastor, a decision that changed his life forever. Under Joel's leadership, Lakewood Church has grown from a small congregation of about 6,000 to one of the largest churches in the country, with more than 50,000 people attending each week at the Compaq Center, formerly home to the Houston Rockets basketball team. His preaching style, which focuses on positivity, hope, and overcoming adversity, has attracted millions worldwide. His sermons are broadcast on television, reaching more than 100 million views each week in more than 100 countries. He has also launched a radio show on Sirius XM and podcasts, expanding his influence in the digital age. This success has made him one of the most influential pastors in the world. Invited to speak at international events and appear on shows such as The Oprah Winfrey Show and Larry King Live. Joel is also a best-selling author with his first book, Your Best Life Now: 7 Steps to Living at Your Full Potential, 2004, topping the New York Times bestseller list for over 200 weeks. This book, along with other works such as Become a Better You, 2007, The Power of I Am, 2015, and Empty Out the Negative, 2020, have sold millions of copies worldwide, generating tens of millions of dollars in revenue. His books focus on encouraging readers to find their purpose in life, overcome fear, and live with gratitude, reflecting his preaching philosophy. In addition, he hosts Night of Hope events at major stadiums across the United States and internationally, attracting tens of thousands of attendees each time. These successes have earned him numerous awards, including humanitarian awards from community organizations and recognition from religious leaders around the world. Joel's career, however, has not always been smooth sailing. One of his biggest setbacks has been the controversy surrounding his preaching style. Critics, including some conservative pastors, have argued that he avoids talking about difficult topics like sin and judgment, focusing instead on prosperity and personal success. These criticisms reached a boiling point in 2017 when he was accused of delaying the opening of Lakewood Church to aid victims of Hurricane Harvey in Houston. Although he later explained that the church had flooded and was unsafe, the incident damaged his reputation. He has said that in the days following the controversy, he broke down in tears in his office, feeling misunderstood and rejected by the public. Another setback was his attempt to launch a reality TV show in 2010, but the project was canceled after failing to attract sponsors. He spent months preparing for the show, only to receive a call with the news that it was canceled, leaving him in tears of disappointment. Joel's efforts to achieve success in his career often came with emotional moments. He recounted his early days as a pastor, when he practiced for hours in front of a mirror to overcome his fear of public speaking. Once, after a sermon that went wrong, he sat in his car and cried, feeling like he wasn't worthy of the role. Another tearful moment came when he received a letter from a fan who said his sermon had helped her overcome suicidal thoughts. That letter, along with thousands of similar stories, became the motivation for him to continue his mission, despite the relentless pressure. These efforts, while sometimes exhausting, have helped him build a proud career, becoming a symbol of hope and faith. Joel Osteen's accomplishments go beyond expanding Lakewood Church to inspiring millions of people around the world. Since taking over the church in 1999, he has made it his goal to make Lakewood a place where everyone, regardless of background or circumstance, feels welcome. He has accomplished this by hosting a variety of services, from youth programs to free community events. The conversion of the Compaq Center into Lakewood's headquarters in 2005, which cost over $100 million to renovate, was one of the milestones that demonstrated his vision and leadership. He also works to take his message global through television shows, books, and online platforms like YouTube and Instagram, where he has more than 20 million followers by 2025. Joel also aims to be an inspiration, not only in the realm of religion, but also in his everyday life. He regularly shares his story, from a shy behind-the-scenes worker to a popular pastor, to encourage others to overcome their fears and pursue their dreams. He has hosted online workshops and classes where he teaches leadership, stress management, and personal development. Another accomplishment he is passionate about is protecting his father's legacy. He launched the John Osteen Foundation, a charity that supports educational and health projects in underserved communities, as a way to honor his father. He also works to be a role model father and husband, although this is not always easy. He has said that one of his greatest accomplishments is seeing his son Jonathan and daughter Alexandra grow up with the values he and Victoria taught them, such as honesty, hard work, and faith. Joel Osteen's love and marriage have been an important aspect of his life, bringing both joy and challenges. He married Victoria Osteen, née Eloff, on April 4, 1987, after meeting at her family's jewelry store in 1985. Victoria, a speaker and author, has become Joel's constant companion, leading Lakewood Church with him and writing books such as Love Your Life, 2008, and Exceptional You, 2019. Their relationship has been described as an enduring love story, with romantic moments such as when Joel threw a surprise party for Victoria on their 20th wedding anniversary. They often appeared together in sermons, sharing how to build a